Take 3. So this is going to be a quick story of my 2023 buck. So it started back in September. He showed up one night, and just as soon as I saw him on just the notification on my Spy Point app, I was kind of hooked on him. And from that moment on, he was the one I wanted. But he's really shy. He showed up a couple times on camera, just disappeared again. A couple daylight sightings, that was it. I think the last photo I had of him for a long time was middle of October, or maybe it was early October. So late October, I did some bow hunting. He wasn't really even on my mind because he hadn't showed up. And there's a couple other nice bucks that were there, so I was after them. Never had any luck. Getting into gun season, and I knew the neighbors were hunting it hard, so I really stayed away from it because the bucks were pretty nocturnal. It was real nice. It was real warm early season, so I stayed away from it. Hunted some other spots. See, I hit a big buck and he got away, but that's another story. But anyway, get later in the season. I remember if it was like second week or third week, I think it was. I think it was already in like the CWD portion, so it had to have been like third weekend. But I'd only hunted a couple times. I shot one doe out of it, but really didn't pressure it at all because I knew the neighbors were pressuring their side. Anyway, that morning or the night before, I kind of made my mind up and going to that spot. The wind, everything was perfect. I hadn't been there in a while, so I was going to go in there. Excuse me. And some reason, I don't know if I didn't set my alarm or if I just slept through it, but I woke up late and I'm scrambling to get ready. My first thing I do is I check my trail cams as I'm getting dressed, or I think I was eating breakfast. I was just scrolling through my trail cams, and this buck shows up. I got super excited because I hadn't seen him since early October, and he was just chasing a doe around, and that gave me a lot of hope. But again, I didn't really think much of it because you see a buck at 2 a.m. or whatever it was. It doesn't exactly mean a lot, but at least I knew he was in the area and he was alive because I knew the neighbors had shot a lot of deer. So I was a little worried, but so I was pumped. I go as fast as I can without speeding to get there. And I'm so late, like not even close. And I'm running out to my stand, walking across the field. And I look up, it just lined up where I can just kind of see movement, a couple hundred yards. I think this was probably 300-400 yards away. So I just dropped down, get my binoculars out. And this is on the field. I hadn't really seen the deer on this side of the trees before much. They like to feed on the other side. So I was kind of shocked. But I look up and I see like 5 or 6 deer out there. So I just dropped down. I'm just thinking what to do. And I remember there's a ditch about 30 yards in front of me. So I get down, I crawl up to it, get set up. And it's getting lighter at this point. Adrenaline's running, so it gets lighter when you see that first deer, you get pumping. It just seems like it gets light, but I still couldn't really see my crosshairs very well. So I'm set up, I'm just watching. I see him. I see, Twin Towers. I see those huge towering main frames as he's walking away from me, just chasing this doe around. And man, it's like, one, even if I want to shoot him, it's way too dark. And so he's chasing this doe. He goes behind the hill, still chasing her. So I pull my phone out. I get on Onyx, and I range it from where I am to where the trees are. It's like 325. I'm like, well, I thought about moving forward, but there wasn't really anywhere else I could hide other than this little ditch. So I put my orange, make sure it's good on my back so it's facing the road, because I was a little worried about just sitting in the field. But anyway, I'm sitting there. It's just starting to get light. He comes after about 5 or 10 minutes. I'm pretty hyped at this point, but I'm on my gun. I'm just watching. And he steps out of behind the hill, and I think he actually bred the doe because he was just by himself walking, and I could tell by the angle he was heading for this little clearing to cut across into the other property. And he's about 10 yards from the tree, so I figured it's about 315, and he stopped, and I was like, well, it's now or never.
I was walking to my stand. It's dark, or it was too late, so like the deer were already out, and I let it get light a little bit, and my big target buck gave me a broadside shot at 315 yards. So I let him have it. I'd have no idea what happened because, again, as soon as I shot, all I see is fire, and it's black. So I have no idea what we're going to expect. I'm waiting for these deer to clear out a little bit. I'm just watching, see if he shows up again here. But I'm going to go up there and look.
So I shot, and muzzle flash is still pretty dark. I have no idea. The shot felt good. It sounded good. But at that range, I was not sure. I wasn't confident in my gun. So I'm just kind of, now I'm even more of a wreck. I'm just going, what the heck? Do I run up there? I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna watch. And I think the other deer were actually still in the property. They were just eating. They didn't even move. So I'm just watching them, and about 20 minutes later, I'm like, I can't take it anymore. I gotta go up there. So I just started walking up there and chased the does out. And the way the terrain was, like when he dropped, sorry, spoiler alert. When he dropped, I couldn't see him because he dropped down below my sight. I had to get within about 100 yards before I seen him laying there.
Guys, big boy's down. Now that is a glorious sight. Oh, let's go, baby. 315 yards on this boy. Oh, he's beautiful. Now that is the most gorgeous sight ever, I swear.
Well, that was the Twin Towers buck. Kind of disappointed I didn't really get any footage or anything, just kind of just happened so fast in the dark. Didn't really get to do much. But sometimes that's what hunting is. You just got to get out there and things like that happen. And I'll get better at filming and all that, but it doesn't really matter because it was a fun experience. Definitely one of my bigger and more unique bucks I've ever shot, and as well as first buck I've ever had on trail cam and actually targeted and got, and that was kind of a fun experience. I didn't grow up in the Missouri kind of this style of hunting, so definitely a learning curve and a lot of fun, and obviously a great trophy and great meat in my freezer. So anyway, that's the end of this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Crisis Game.